welcome to another episode of Here and Now on Broadcasting Scotland. I'm your host, Katee Kross, and tonight our brilliant guest is Pauline Vallance. Pauline is an award-winning singer-songwriter, harp and flute player from Ayrshire. So thanks so much for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. I hope you're well. Are you well?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
So how did you get started in music?
Good question. I was really brought up surrounded by music. My parents were music fans and really all genres, probably classical mainly, but they played everything. They liked folk music, they would play a bit of jazz, so I was really brought up to believe that music is everything and it doesn't matter what type. So I started off with classical, learned a bit of piano, but flute was my instrument for years and years. But I was also keen to just play folk music and other kinds of music. So I had to kind of force myself away from relying on written music and just to go out and play, which was great. So that's sort of, I mean, I played for years and had music as a kind of hobby. I've taken it more seriously in the latter part of my life, in the last 10 years or so.
So what would you class yourself today as, kind of more classical or more contemporary now?
Again, it's really difficult, and I find it hard to deal with classifications. I mean, because I play the harp and it's a kind of folk instrument, people just assume I'll be very folky and a bit kind of like clanad and very kind of Celtic-y. But I like to kind of confound that a wee bit, so I quite like to play when I've written a country and western song for the clarsach, and so I don't like to be in too many genres, but it's probably folk. I would say contemporary folk if I have to kind of narrow it down. Influenced by classical music, but I tend to keep that to another side of what I do.
Great. And you play harp as well? What kind of harp is it you play?
Well, I don't know if I'm getting the pronunciation right, but it's the clarsach, which is the Gaelic word for harp. So it's more of a folk instrument. The classical harp has pedals, so you can change key all the time. The harp I play, you change key with a lever. So you tend to be in the one key, which makes it more of a kind of folk instrument.
Great.
So that was... I can't talk much about the history of harps because I just play it. I don't know much about history and stuff, and I came across it quite randomly, but it changed my life, so I'm really happy that I did come across it. So that was, yeah, I mean, I can tell you a bit more how I came across it actually, because it was quite random. They were holding free classes in North Ayrshire, where I come from, and they were providing the harps, and they were just saying, come along, learn, and that'll be fine. So I went along, and then just the minute I touched a harp, I was like, oh, I think this is the instrument I need to play. And that was it, because I could then make my own arrangements, I could accompany myself, because I really wanted to sing, and I started songwriting just from then, so it has actually changed everything.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
And then did you go away and buy your own harp after that? Or
I did, yeah, I did. I bought one off one of the women at the group, and I really didn't go to the group a lot, and I didn't do a lot of formal lessons because I quite wanted to go at it the other way. So I'd done formal lesson side with the flute, and I thought it'd be quite nice just to see where this takes me. So I really just sat with, bought the harp, sat with it, started messing around and started writing songs. And it was really just that's how it all came about.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So I can see in your bio, one of your aims is to play as many places as you can.
Yes.
As you possibly can. So where have you played just now? Well, how many places, or how far afield have you played?
I don't know about how many places, but far afield. Well, in terms last year, I did go pretty far, because I did actually go to Australia.
Wow.
I sing. I'm in a couple of different groups, and one of the groups is a kind of Celtic trio, but it was actually just two of us went on tour, so we went to Australia, so that's about as far as you can go actually, so I thought that's pretty good, and we played in some really fantastic, I like playing in unusual venues, so we played in a riverboat, sort of sailed off at like 6 o'clock into the, the kind of evening, crocodiles kind of snapping in the shores, and just a lovely riverboat full of people, and we just played for a couple of hours, so that was nice. I really like to vary. I play a lot in Tannahill's Cottage in Paisley, which is lovely, very small, intimate venue. Also played in the Great Hall at Stirling Castle at a Christmas concert. So I really do like to vary it. I like to do more classical things, more concert type venues, and then do something else the next night. I just love the variety. Yeah, to be quite honest.
Definitely. So, what would be your dream place to play? Anywhere in the country, any venue, anywhere in the world?
Oh my goodness! Oh, do you know? That's a really tricky question. It's a great question, but I honestly don't know. I'm really stumped. A castle would be nice. Castles are good, but maybe maybe a kind of drawing room in a castle, you know, with a kind of harpsichord in one corner, the harp in the other, and
Nice.
that
Where
might
would
be
it be?
nice.
Would it be in
not
Scotland
sure.
or would it be somewhere else?
Probably Scotland, or I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind. Europe would be good. I haven't really travelled much in Europe with the harp, so that might be nice. Maybe a nice, I don't know, German castle on the banks of the Rhine. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing that out there. Who knows?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So now we're going to take a quick break and we're going to listen to Pauline's first song. This one is called Merino Mill Girl.
Patterns within patterns, shapes within shapes, lives interweaving like crochet or lace, mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, following tradition and following the threads, watch them unfurl. Merino Mill Girl, Merino Mill Girl. Do 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 do. I love Monday mornings off to the mill. See all the girls, Maggie, Lucy and Jill, hear about their weddings or fights with their man. Never much money, but following the threads, watch them unfurl. Merino Mill Girl, Merino Mill Girl. Walking the streets now, the old mill is down, the mill clock is silent, the chatter is gone. Streets of new houses, a new care home too, filled with the memories and following the threads, watch them unfurl. Merino Mill Girl, Merino Mill Girl, Merino Mill Girl, Merino Mill Girl.
So that was Merino Mill Girl, which I hope I'm getting that right. It's all quite a tongue twister. It's a mouthful of words, isn't it?
It's a bad title. I shouldn't have
I
decided
like
that.
it. It's
Yeah.
nice. If you get to say it, a wee bit of practice, it's nice.
Yes.
Rolls off the tongue. So in your bio, you reference to winning a competition with the third song you ever wrote. I mean, come on. You win a competition and it's the third song you've ever wrote.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What competition was it and what song was it?
Okay, it was called the Glasgow Songwriter Festival. It was back in 2009, and it was kind of like a Celtic Connections Fringe.
Right.
And so it was really aiming to give a platform for local singer-songwriters and musicians. So it was a songwriting competition. It was a bit cheeky of me. So I'd only written 3 songs at the time, decided to go in for it, and it just so happened that I think the guy who was running it really liked kind of short, concise songs, which mine was, because there was quite a lot of kind of lengthy songs, all really, really good, but it just gives you a real boost. I mean, I was totally amazed to win that, and then because of that, it gave, I might have carried on songwriting anyway, but it just gives you a real boost, and you think, well, I'll definitely carry on. So, yeah, so that was.
And what was the
great.
song about? that won?
It was called This Working Life, and it was probably quite a serious song about, I was working kind of youth work at the time, and there'd been a lot of changes in my work, and I think I sort of looked around and saw all the people that I work with and realised that you don't know all the, you know, they've all got interests, they've all got hobbies and things that they do outside, but you don't always know that when you're working with people. And it's just when things go wrong at your work, you kind of really latch on to the things that are important outside work. So it was kind of like that, but I wrote it, you know, quite seriously, but people tend to find funny bits in it, which is fine, because it talks about making empire biscuits, which I don't. That was kind of poetic license. But yeah, so that's what it was about.
Great. And what was the prize? What did you win? Or was it just a case of winning?
It was really just a case of, well, I got a really nice glass, I don't know how you would describe it, a kind of bowl with Glasgow Songwriting Festival on it. So it was just that, and just the kudos of having won it. So I'm able to say that, which I still do, however many years later, and that was that. So it was great.
No, lovely and amazing. Third song, really.
No, a bit cheeky.
Now we're going to do our random questions.
Okay.
So these are totally random. You can take as long as you like with these. So the first one is... This one's so random. The first one is, you are a new addition to the crayon box. What colour are you and why are you that colour?
I think I'd have to say purple.
Purple.
A, because I do really like the colour, and B, because this group that I sing in, which is called Came, we tend to wear purple as our kind of signature thing that we wear. So it's very associated with the music and with some of the lovely gigs that I've done with them.
Great. Which musician would you like to collaborate with?
Ooh, many. Well, Bruce Springsteen would be good. I would very much like to collaborate with Bruce Springsteen. I'm also a great fan of Corinne Polwart. Real fan of Corinne Polwart. So that, and she's such a modest person, and I really love her songwriting. Yeah, I mean, you know her obviously. So probably either of the two, or both.
Or both.
Springsteen and Corinne Polwart. Let's all get together. You've heard it here first. I would love that. Yeah.
And Corinne, she plays a strange instrument, doesn't she? Do you know what it's called?
She does, yes. It's a shruti box.
Right.
I'm quite interested in them actually, because they provide a kind of drone, which is what I'm kind of missing in the harp. The harp doesn't drone, but once you like to string it, it doesn't last for very long. So the shruti box gives a lovely kind of dreamy quality to the songs. So yes, I'm quite interested in that.
Well, there you go. Just get that together. The three of you get together.
That would be it.
And write an album.
And Springsteen can add a bit of rock guitar. That would be a fine. Shruti box, harp, rock guitar. I think we're sorted.
That's it. That's the new sound. That's what we need.
Yes.
So the third one more random question. If I went into your playlist right now, what would be the last song you listened to?
Well, I went to see Joan Baez a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just constantly playing her most recent CD. It was her farewell tour, and her CD is just gorgeous. So I've been just playing that. I still get CDs. I still like CDs, and I tend to just play them for maybe 2 or 3 weeks until they're just in there. So that's what I've been listening to at the moment. It's a beautiful song actually called "The President Sang Amazing Grace." That's about President Obama singing Amazing Grace at a memorial for people that were shot, and he couldn't find any words, and he just sang Amazing Grace. So somebody wrote a song about it, and she sings it, and it's just lovely. So
lovely. So now we're going to have a wee bit of fun. We're going to play our quick question quiz.
Okay, I don't know how quick I'll be. Never mind.
So really easy. Answer these 10 questions as quickly as you possibly can. So first place is Zoe. Second place is Anna. And joint third. Joint third is Matthew and John. Okay, so we'll see where we slot in here. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, black or white?
Black.
Young or old?
Young.
Pasta or rice?
Pasta.
Football or rugby?
Rugby.
Think before you talk before you think.
Talk before you think.
What's your favourite Scottish artist?
Adrian Wisniewski.
Christmas or New Year?
Christmas.
Favourite song of the last century?
Oh no, Born in the USA.
Happy or rich?
Happy.
Dream car?
I don't care, jalopy.
And it is 29 seconds. Close.
I thought too hard about that one. What was the one after?
Song.
I couldn't.
Song of the century.
I couldn't. It was too many.
You picked a good one.
Yeah.
Nice wee bit of Bruce Springsteen. Love a wee bit of Bruce.
Yes.
And in dream car, don't really care for cars.
I car that goes. If it goes from A to B,
goes forward.
I don't even remember my current registration, to be quite honest. I remember my first car's registration. Since then, no, I have no clue.
Okay, no problem. Right, so we're going to have another wee break and we're going to listen to another track from Pauline. This one is called Troika Right.
Under the watch of the deep frozen sky, the Troika glides on and on. The horses are galloping free o'er the snow, and the cold freezes deep to the bone. The bells on the reins ring out cheerful and gay. You would think for a jaunt they were bound, but desperate need fed this journey so long, the passengers made not a sound. On urged the driver, though temperatures fell and frozen birds dropped from the sky. The horses responded, though ice clogged their breath, till the end of the journey was nigh. La 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 la. They had set out in hope from the far frozen north on a mission of danger and strife. My babushka, so strong, had to plead with the Tsar to save her dear husband's life. He had injured a soldier, an accident foul, and was to Siberia doomed. She knew if he went there he'd never return, or his family the sentence loomed. On went my babushka, so fearless and brave, though she carried her unborn son, determined to plead and appeal to the Tsar, the one way his life could be won. La 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 la. On went the horses, on through the snow, suddenly maddened with fear. Chased down by wolves, they ran for their lives, till the end of the journey was near. La 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 la. Then at last was the end of the road, the streets of St. Petersburg near. My babushka had just one more ordeal to face, and was once again stricken with fear. She entered the palace, she tried to look calm, and finally met with her fate. The Tsar, who had sway o'er the rest of her life, he listened to what she would state. Down on her knees my babushka did fall, and blinded with tears she did pray. The Tsar looked on kindly and helped her to stand, and said, "Your husband is safe." Oh, the Tsar looked on kindly and helped her to stand, and said, "Your husband is safe." La 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 la.
So that was Troika Right. I think did I get that right?
You did, well done.
I had a wee bit of a stutter over it a few times, but it's fine. I believe there's a nice wee story behind this song. Is there?
Yes, I'll keep it fairly brief. I could go on about this song forever. I wrote the song based on a book called The House by Davina, which was by a woman called Eugenie Fraser, whose mother was Scottish and her father was Russian. So she spent about the first 14, 15 years of her life in Russia before the revolution. The song is about a story of her grandmother, an absolutely true story set back in the 1880s. You know, absolutely true. Her grandmother was 8 months pregnant when she had to make this ride through the middle of the Russian winter to save her husband. I mean, it's all absolutely true. Met with the Tsar, all happened. But I tell the story at gigs when I'm performing the song, and then a few months ago, a couple came up to me at the end of the gig and said not only did they know of the book, but they knew the grandniece of the author.
Really?
Yeah, and would I like them to pass on my details? I was like, yes, please. So, and I wasn't sure if they would, and I wasn't sure if the author's grandniece would want to meet me, but we did meet in January there, which was, it was just awesome, because it really brought the whole thing alive, and it's not just a book, and it's not just a story. It really happened. It was real people's lives. This is her great aunt, who was, she remembers as a great storyteller. But, you know, a sad story, because she had to leave behind her Russian, she would, you know, this was her Russian family, this was her life till she was 14, had to leave them all behind, never saw her father again, never saw her grandmother again, and it just really brought it home, meeting her grandniece. So,
and did you play her the song?
I've sent her the song, and I've sort of recorded it recently, so once I've got a proper recording, I will send that as well. And I'm hoping I might also get to meet one of the author's sons, because they're still alive as well, so I would love to meet one of her sons, which would be just amazing.
No, that's a lovely song, a lovely
you.
story, and a nice wee ending there as well. So, one of your recent highlights was playing the Eden Festival, and you said in your bio where you got to channel your inner hippie.
Yes.
Which everyone has to channel that at some point.
Yes, I think we do.
What other highlights have you had over the last few years that you can remember just now?
Okay. Well, Eden's definitely a highlight. I'm doing it again this year. There's just something about the atmosphere there, and I'm in the chill out lounge, which is really appropriate for the stuff I do, so that was awesome. Australia obviously had to be a highlight, because I'd never thought I would go there. I wasn't really sure what to expect, and it's just such a positive place. People are so friendly, and we had really appropriate gigs like the Riverboat, and we also played in a really nice hall, which is a converted church, and it's an acoustic venue. They only play acoustic venues, and it was just lovely to play in, so that was really good. I've done part of the Songwriters Uncovered series that Sheila Mackay-Jones has arranged down in the Beacon Arts Centre in Greenock, which is lovely.
Venue.
It's lovely, and again, it's a sitting audience. They're listening to the songs, which is really nice. So that's been a highlight. There's just been so many. I do the Edinburgh Fringe for the last few years as well. I usually do one concert in the Acoustic Music Centre, and that's good as well, because you have an hour to just fill the way you want to, and you've got a listening audience. So. Many highlights. Many highlights.
Yes,
very happy.
And have you got any unique gigs coming up in the future that you can tell us about? Anything in the pipeline?
Well, I'm doing Eden again, so if anybody is there, go to the Chill Out Lounge. I'm not sure, I was on this on a Sunday morning last year, which was great. I'll put that up when I'm going to be on. I'm also doing another festival for the first time. It's called the Moira Furnace Festival.
All right.
I don't know much about it. It's down in England, and I'm so bad with English counties, I can't remember the county, but it's in August, and I was asked to go there, so I'm really not sure what it'd be like. I think it sounds like quite a lot of acoustic acts, a lot of singer-songwriters, so that's very new, and I'm delighted to be doing that. Came that I perform with, we're doing a tour of Yorkshire in June, so that should be good as well. So
that'll be good.
Yeah.
So lots of interesting, exciting things coming up. Great to add to your list of other exciting things that you've done. So we touched on you play with various bands, but one of them is your Celtic trio Came, and they're the ones you toured Australia with last year. But you're also releasing your CD, Red Winged Blackbird. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, again, that's with Came, but we decided the three of us would choose like 5 songs each to do. So actually the 3 songs that I did today, we've recorded them, and they're going to be on the CD, with a couple of my other songs as well, including the song about the dog eating the mobile phone. It's going to be on there. So that's coming out. I think it should be out in June in time for us to do our tour. So it's got 5 of my songs on it, and a mixture of some Scottish songs, some Irish songs, and different arrangements.
So how many songs will be on the CD?
It'll be 15.
15.
Yeah.
A nice big meaty CD.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah.
And are you going to do some kind of gig when you release it? Is there a launch gig or anything, or is it just with the tour?
I'm not sure. I think it's just for the tour, so I'm not too sure about that. Yeah. I'm also hoping to release another CD of my own songs. I haven't put much in place for that, but I really want to be working on that next. And if I do that, then yes, I'll do a launch of that. But that's got no dates for that yet.
Not yet. So why is it the Red Winged Blackbird? How did that come back?
Well, one of the songs that we do as a trio, we do a cappella as a harmony song. And it came from Heather and Jacinth, who are the other 2 members of Came. They were in Canada, and they heard that song, and apparently they have red-winged blackbirds there.
Nice. So
it becomes it's a kind of signature tune. We tend to start Came gigs with that song. And so that's why it's called Red Winged Blackbird.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just before we round up tonight's show, do you want to remind everyone at home where they can find any music you released, where they'll be able to find your new CD when it comes out? Is there going to be hard copies of it, do you know?
Yes, there will be hard copies. Yep.
And any social media pages?
Okay. We'll have a website first of all, which is paulinevallance.co.uk.
Right.
I have a Facebook page, so that's my musician page, and I try and put up there what, up to date with what I'm doing. I have 2 CDs out already on all the usual channels, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Google Play. So my first one is Songs, Spells and Salsa Moves, which has my prize-winning song on it. And I also brought out a CD of lullabies, mainly Scottish lullabies, called Golden Slumber. So they're both out on all the usual channels. I have some tracks in SoundCloud and some on YouTube. I think that's
everything.
Yeah, and I'm not that great in social media, but I'll do my best.
You do your best, that's all we need.
Yes.
So thank you again. I've really enjoyed having a chat with you. It's been lovely. And again, I've loved hearing you play your harp. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. I've loved hearing the harp and your singing and your songs. It's just been all fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And thank you at home for tuning in to another Here and Now on Broadcasting Scotland. I've been your host, Katee Kross, and our guest has been the brilliant Pauline Vallance. Is that how you say your surname?
You can say either. That's the posh way, and I quite like that.
Way. Okay, we'll say it the posh way. So, thank you to Pauline Vallance, and make sure you check out her social media pages and check out when that CD comes out. Make sure you all buy one, and we'll keep an eye out for your own CD coming out, hopefully some point this year. But next week's guest is going to be the brilliant Gary Anderson. But for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy a final song from Pauline. This one's called Safe Haven.
The coloured boats are bobbing gaily on the quay, straining at their moorings, they long to be at sea, surrounded by the sea wall so big and safe and strong, they long to be outside it. Oh, how can that be wrong? On the other side of safety, the sea churns up and down. Spray crashes on the quayside like fragments of a crown. Who knows how deep the water? Its depths have not been tried. So best to wait in safety for the turning of the tide. You are my safe haven from all the crashing waves, my safe haven when I just can't be brave. You will protect me from all the raging seas. You are my safe haven from possibilities. I'm scared to venture outside into the open sea. I want to hug the coastline, I'm frightened to be free. I don't know what I'll cope with, I might be in too deep. So I should curl up inside, and I could go to sleep. But what if I don't test myself and try out something strange? I'll never know what I can do and really test my range. The wild sea can be beautiful and scary just the same. It's time to turn the corner, 'cause life's not just a game. You were my safe haven from all the crashing waves, my safe haven when I just can't be brave. You did protect me from all the raging seas. You were my safe haven from possibilities. You know the future scares me, it's tempting just to stay or put off my decision until another day. Nobody will judge me, I'm still the same old me. It's time to leave it all behind and face the unknown sea. So it's goodbye to my safe haven. haven and face the crashing waves. My safe haven, it's time to be brave. You did protect me from all the raging seas. Goodbye, safe haven. Hello, possibilities. Hello, possibilities. Hello, possibilities.